Ever feel like you're wrestling with Acumatica just to get data out?
Oh, yeah, definitely, especially when it has to be in a very specific format.
It's like the system's great, but sometimes it feels like it's holding the data hostage.
Right.
Like, give me my trial balance data. I need it for this other thing.
Exactly.
And it's always trial balance data. Every other system wants that in some form or another.
It really does feel that way sometimes.
So I want to bring in someone who's a master at getting Acumatica to play nice, especially when it comes to data.
I like where this is going.
Right. So everyone, meet Swetha. She's a functional consultant with about 15 years of experience in the ERP world.
Wow, that's a lot of experience.
Yeah. And a lot of that's been focused specifically on Acumatica, too.
Nice.
And she's like the queen of reports, data exports, integrations. You name it, she's tackled it.
Sounds like the person you want in your corner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's got this amazing track record, over 100 unique Acumatica scenarios she's solved.
That's not just experience, that's a whole encyclopedia of solutions.
Yeah, exactly. So let's dive into one of those scenarios to see her process in action.
Sounds good.
So one of Swetha's clients needed to get their previous month's trial balance data onto an SFTP server.
Okay.
Sounds pretty straightforward on the surface, right? Just like grab the data and send it over.
Sure.
But there was a snag.
Oh, there's always a snag.
Right. So Acumatica, it has those standard trial balance reports.
Bots.
Like, the summary and the detailed version.
Mm-hmm.
And those live in the report designer. Right.
Right.
But the problem is the report designer doesn't have a magical export to SFTP button.
Oh, bummer. I wish it were that easy, though.
Right. That would be fantastic. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, it doesn't exist yet. So what does Swetha do?
All right, lay it on me. What's the secret sauce?
Well, she didn't resort to any crazy coding hacks or anything like that.
Okay, good.
Her approach was way more elegant. She started by building a custom generic inquiry.
Ah, generic inquiries. So versatile.
Right. They're like the Swiss Army knife of Acumatica, I swear.
Totally.
So you can think of this generic inquiry as a really, really focused data grabber.
Got it.
It's designed to pull just the previous month's trial balance data.
Okay.
But here's the key part. It structures that data perfectly for export.
Ah, so it's not just about getting the data, it's about getting it in the right shape.
Precisely. It's like, imagine trying to force square blocks into round holes.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Exactly. It's just going to be a mess.
You need the right pieces for the right puzzle.
Exactly. So Swetha uses tables and relations, conditions, to filter. It's like she's building with Legos.
I love that analogy.
Right. But instead of, like, building a spaceship or something, she's creating the perfect data blueprint.
Okay, so the data is ready. It's formatted correctly. What happens next?
So we've got the data all prepped and ready to go. Does Swetha sit there and, manually copy and paste it over to the SFTP server every month?
Oh, I hope not. That sounds incredibly tedious.
Oh, no way. She's way too smart for that. She automates the whole thing.
Of course, automation is key.
Right. So she creates what's called an export scenario, and she links that directly to the custom generic inquiry.
Smart move.
And this scenario lives in the integration module, so it's nice and organized.
Easy to find, easy to manage.
Exactly. And here's the best part. Once it runs, the output file is just sitting there, ready to go in the files section.
Super convenient. No more hunting for files.
Right. But how do we make sure that the data on that SFTP server stays fresh, up to date?
Yeah, we don't want stale data. Got to keep things current.
Exactly. So Swetha sets up an automation schedule.
Ah, more automation. Love it.
Right. And this also lives within the integration module.
Okay.
In this automation schedule, it runs that export scenario every hour.
Wow, every hour. So that SFTP server is always getting the latest and greatest.
Exactly. It's like having a constant stream of fresh trial balance data.
Yeah, that's awesome. But what about security? We don't want just anyone accessing this sensitive data, right?
You're absolutely right. Security is paramount. So Swetha gets the SFTP credentials directly from the client.
Okay, good.
That way, the data transfer is locked down tight.
Like Fort Knox, but for data.
Precisely. So what's the big takeaway here for our listeners?
Well, this isn't just about solving this one specific trial balance problem, right?
Right.
It's about opening our eyes to the power of generic inquiries and automation in Acumatica.
Absolutely.
They're like these secret weapons that can be used in so many different ways.
They really are.
Way beyond just trial balances. Like, you need to send custom reports to your clients, automate it, you need to integrate with a completely different system.
Generic inquiry to the rescue.
Exactly. It can be your data translator.
I love it. It's like unlocking a whole new level of Acumatica mastery.
It really is.
So if this has sparked some ideas, or maybe you're battling your own Acumatica puzzle,
Definitely reach out to the experts.
you've got to check out Swetha and her team at Tayana Solutions. They're the folks you call when you need Acumatica to do exactly what you need it to do.
They're like the Acumatica whisperers.
Exactly. They can make
Yeah.
it sing and dance. And they're really good at making Acumatica work smarter, not harder, which is what we all want, right?
Absolutely. Who wants to work harder when you can work smarter?
Exactly. You can reach them at 678-910-2774.
Write that down, folks.
And here's a final thought to chew on. What data headaches have you been putting up with that could be solved with a little bit of automation magic?
I'm sure there are a few lurking out there. Time to conquer them.
Exactly.